Alrighty then. So today we are continuing with some more Sky, and it's been a while for me. So ooh, the game. I always forget about that audio glitch sometimes. It's like I remember it and I also forget it, and then I start feeling lonely if it's not there enough. I'm like, oh, is the game actually like, has it been patched out? Has it been fixed in some way? And it's like, no. But anyway, so a few things. First off, if I sound a little bit different, I did a little looky-loo and changey with my headset. I'm looking at the meter now. I am going to move myself a little away, the mic a little away. That seems to have fixed that issue. Okay. I'm doing a little audio changing stuff because in the pipeline for what I'm going to be playing for the channel might be a revisit to some stuff that I haven't done in maybe 6 years for the channel. 6 years ago on the channel was like the last time I tried doing something like this. And we might be trying it again soon. So I'm going to keep that vague. I'm going to keep that vague intentionally. But yeah, it's been a while for me since I've played this, actually. I kind of dropped off. Not in like a serious, like, oh man, I don't like this anymore kind of way. Oh yeah, my mic is still a little high there. I have this thing calibrated spatially with my face for that windscreen thing, the pop filter. I took that off because, one, it was hurting my head a lot. And if you watch the previous Sky parts, like the past like 3 or 4 or whatever that I've had it, you would know that by the end of it I would be complaining about my head hurting because of this clip thing digging into my head because of what I've had to do with what kind of headset, what kind of mic I have and all that. But yeah, I have not really played this at all. I've played it like maybe like 3 times in the past 3 weeks. And a few things about that. One, I have been extremely busy, so that's also why there has not been a whole lot of videos for the past few weeks on the channel, and that's probably how it's going to be going forward again. It's going to be back to the old, like, a couple episodes of something every so often again, not the whole regimented 2 videos per week thing that I've been trying to do this year since January. I knew that would fall apart eventually just because of how my schedule is. So I'm totally fine with that. The stick drift on the DualShock seems to still be here. That's the thing. I haven't played my PS5 in a few weeks, really, so I'm just like, oh, great, there's still this stick drift thing going on. That needs to get fixed eventually. It's not the biggest deal right now. But, yeah, I still love this game. Love it a lot. We'll continue with Sky in the future as well. I'm not saying like, oh, we're done with it, I've dropped off of it, I've gotten bored with it or anything like that. By no means that. I'm just really busy. But I don't care for whatever the Day of Flowers, Days of Spring, whatever this thing over here is that's going on right now. I have seen, once again, similar to the Days of Fortune, I've just seen the Sky account on Instagram and other social media just nonstop post stuff about this. I went here once, and I'm not sure if I recorded a bit of it. That's the other thing, is I've recorded snips of things over the past month or so, and I don't know what to do with them now, because a lot of them are very interesting to me. There's a lot of people up there, actually, it seems. Oh, no, those are more the little coin things for this event. They're like the tickets for the Days of Fortune one. Also, we finally get to see one of these things alive. These were apparently like from a special event over the past winter, which I was not playing the game for. But they're here in the days of what's it called? Days of Bloom? I forget what this is called. I don't care enough, to be honest. But I took a once around look at this maybe like a week and a half ago to see, hey, is this anything interesting to me? And it really is not. This does not interest me at all. This is a really pointless extra fluff if you want some more. It's similar to the Days of Fortune is my thing. It's like it's very cool looking if you've played a lot of this game like I have, but substance-wise, there's nothing here for me. It's just more costumes, which is fine, but that's not really why I play the game. I play it for more the exploration, I play it for the art, I play it for just having a great time and kind of vibing. And I also would like to play it for the lore, but unfortunately, aside from a lot of the environmental lore and the main story campaign, which is like around 5 or 6 hours, 5, 6, 7 hours, it's pretty light, which is fine, but it seems most of the lore, from what I have looked up, is kind of behind that art book, which I still don't have yet, but still intend to get at some point. It's just $175. So, a near $200 art book, which is still insane to me. But, yeah. I have to spend $200 soon on a membership with a local actual wildlife community that I'm a part of, and nature preserve and all that, you know, like real world nature and all that, which is also why I'm going to be like, you know, not playing this game that much, more so than I already haven't been, because I have stuff to do now that winter is done. So, yeah, I'm interested in that art book, but I have more important things to pay for as an adult. Anyway. So, what's my point about all this? It's been kind of rambly, runaroundy. I haven't recorded anything in a long time, so my brain's kind of fuzzy on how I've ever formatted playing this game, kind of. So we're just kind of freeballing it today. In any case, yeah, this is the Days of Bloom thing or whatever that's going on. It's cool looking. It's really cool looking, but it adds nothing. So I don't really care about it. Yeah, that's a weird part with not, like, sitting down and I knew that this was going to happen while I was recording these, like, little snips throughout the month. I'm just like, man, I have not had any time to, like, sit down for, like, an hour and just play the game. And I have a ton of these, like, 10-minute, 20-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute, 15-minute, like, clips of me, like, briefly playing the game, doing out-of-bounds stuff, interacting with people. If you remember Shu from earlier, a part or two ago, that other person that I was kind of hanging out with in a few of the snips, they turned out to be rather rude, so I actually blocked them in the game because they were just rather rude. It's funny when you're, and this is just maybe a me thing, when you're playing with other people. I had a really, really good, like, from me and other people, like, I had a take a couple weeks ago about the game, and I don't think I've put it in this part because I believe it's been more recent, but I think I'm just gonna, do I still have it? I took a screenshot of it because I'm like, you know, maybe I want to add that into a part. Let me check real quick on my computer. Or is it on my phone? It might be on my phone. Yeah, I don't see it on my computer. Yeah, it's on my phone. March 9th. So, as I'm recording this, this is April 2nd. So, I chose not to record yesterday because it was April Fool's, and I'm like, yeah, bad luck. Anyway. So, This is something I said almost a month ago, probably like a day or two after I recorded the last part or something. I recorded the last part in like very early March, like March 3rd, 4th, 2nd, somewhere around there. And I had this to say about like, because I've also had other social interactions with like other players and such since then. And I ended up blocking Shu because they were just really rude. It was just a really weird encounter that I'm just like, okay, this person is, I know that this is an MMO, and I'm very, very sure at this point playing this game and seeing a lot of weird nodes like this. That one's not bad, but like I've seen a lot of weird nodes at this point now. And this game does seem to get a lot more active, weirdly enough, as time goes on in the year. I'm not sure how that works exactly, because I would expect people like me to, well, like me personally, but just like I play more video games in the winter because I have a lot less going on outside. And then when the world gets warm again, I'm back outside again. So apparently a lot of people don't do that. But yeah, there's just a lot of weird social stuff, but it's very clear to me now that if this game is actually moderated in any sort of way through its servers and through like actual moderators at that game company, they are very, very, very lenient and or are not like paying attention to a whole lot of what's actually going on in the game. That's very clear to me now. Because let alone some of like the weird stuff that we've seen on some of the nodes in video that I've shown you, and I've seen plenty of stuff off video that's weird or uncomfortable or uncanny or anything. But now that I've interacted a bit more openly with a couple other like players in the moment, and you get to the point where you can socially interact with them through some means, it's very clear that a lot of the players are very rude. Extremely rude or really socially inexperienced. And I'm not sure why they're playing this game then. But yeah. So this was something I wrote down and I was in the middle of a conversation about a month ago with other people who play this game and other friends and such online. And I had this to say. Taking a step back on that experience, it is ironic how the social messages players leave everywhere in the game are so artsy, furry, queer emo, and yet the anonymous live players I've like that's the thing, is like it's weird how so many of like the little nodules, the indirect messaging in this game is so like, it can be very thoughtful, it can be very like real, it can be very, but like wholesomely real, or like just like, hey dude, you need a hug, kind of like legit, like very legit, personable kind of comments and things. And then every so often you might come across, like in my experience, maybe like once every 2 weeks or something, you might come across something that's just really uncomfortable or rude or derogatory or anything like that, just really bad vibes. You don't come across that too often in the little nodules. But when it comes to the live people that I've interacted with, okay, let me reiterate, and yet the anonymous live players I've interacted with socially have just been rude and socially dissonant. That's actually the word I've been looking for. Like I had a good phrase for that. Socially dissonant. If you know what dissonance is in like audio, music, anything like that, it's just like people who are very socially dissonant. It's like they know they can talk, they know that they can convey emotion, they don't properly know how to convey it, and it comes off as really... It's like if you're talking to me like that in person, I would probably give you a look or something, you know, just like, what is wrong with you? That kind of stuff. There's a lot of that in this. There's a lot of like, what they're saying, like, you get that they're trying to be social, but the way that they go about it is not socially acceptable. It's really weird. A social game, and this is kind of the crux of it, a social game with a fairly developed, there's a fairly developed fan base here that is niche and has an insular community. That's something I've kind of understood from me starting this game, and how I was even given this game as a suggestion to play, is that this is a game that is very much played by people who know about it, and people who don't know about this game generally just don't know it exists. This is a very anomalous kind of title for people who know about that game company. And I knew about that game company before I even played this, and I really did not know that this existed. But yeah, very insular, niche kind of community. A social game with a fairly developed niche, insular community being so antisocial so far is certainly weird by my viewpoint. Lol face. Alas, people be people. Yeah, it's really weird how... Thank you, past me. It's really weird playing an MMO social game that markets itself and functionally is about, like, emoting, connecting with people, having a good time with your friends, and exploring, all this kind of comfy vibes, all this kind of stuff. And yet everybody I've talked to, generally, outside of, like, Discord, and I've barely played with those people that I've met on Discord in this game, so I can't say much about that. But the people that I have played in this game and have talked to in this game have 95% of the time ended up being, like, they weren't immediately, but they ended up always being rather rude. Like, there's a facade. It's almost like there's some sort of, funny enough, mask, like our players. There's some sort of facade going on about being, like, weird or culty or deep or caring or some other stuff, and then they let loose, like, well, fine, fuck you, I'll see you later in like 5 hours or something, just like something totally like off, pocket sand in your face kind of what. Just really, really unsociable people for a game that is relatively sociable. I don't know, man. It's really weird. I'm amused by it more so because I have, like, and no offense, I think I said this like last time, but it's like I have a life in the real world and I have real friends, and it's really weird coming into this game with that kind of mindset of someone who is personable. I'm also a director, so like I have to deal with people regularly in like some sort of positive and constructive light. I have to deal with kids. I have to deal with 60-year-old people. This is my work. Like, you have to know how to talk to people. And you come into this game, and most of the gamers, quote unquote, that you meet in this game, in my experience, just don't know how to... They don't know how to convey things well or, like, be personable. It's like you say, like, the thing with Shu, which kind of annoyed me, was like they were hanging out with somebody else briefly, and I went into their game. Like, you know, you can kind of like warp to other people's... I can actually just show. You can warp to other players' instances. That's the word I'm looking for. Instances. Via the panel back here. And they were hanging out with somebody else. I was, like, they kind of briefly chatted with me about that, and they never introduced me to this other person, and the other person never, like, wanted to, like, you know, dock candles or anything. They seemed to be just kind of along for the ride, but we went into the the Golden Wasteland. Yeah, you can see, like, Shu's not here anymore. Funny enough, right after that happened, I went into Crazy's game and got reunited both with Crazy and who I have now named Crazy 2, who was the second person that was with them when we went into the Eye of Eden back in January. Oh, that was crazy, as Crazy is. So Crazy, in my opinion, is still cool. But, yeah... We ended up going into the Golden Wasteland. Shu decided to do a lot of dangerous stuff in there with the shrimp and the dark dragons. they were intentionally trying to get attacked by these dragons with this other person attached to them, holding hands. And I'm not sure what they were doing because Shu was not getting damaged by them, but the other person was. And as soon as I started seeing this, I bailed. I bailed immediately. And I went off to Daylight Prairie to then just, kind of vibe and not deal with whatever sketchy shit was going on there. Like, I asked them in the text chat, just like, how are you not getting hit by these dragons? And why is this other person, like, why is this other person, like, taking the damage for you or something like that? And they kind of pulled one of those culty kind of ways of talking about stuff, just like, oh, well, I'm just the chosen one, a magical whatever person who will lead you to just like this weird pseudo cult shit that just doesn't make any sense and is really annoying to listen to. And I just left. I just kind of quietly just noped out and went to Daylight Prairie. And I just chilled in there and got all the candles and wax, got some more candles, which we can get some more now. And I came back like a half hour later. I went back into their instance of the game, and they were weirdly enough still in the Golden Wasteland. They were in the temple with another random person that I had never seen before. And then they started to immediately like question me and kind of accuse me of not being like one of their followers or whatever and shit, and just being a real kind of wet towel of a person. Just, just okay, dude. And yeah, then they finally just said something like, okay, well, come visit me again in like 5 hours or something. And I'm just, at that point, I just left there and just blocked them. I was just done. I was like, man, if you're gonna like question me as a person playing this game about not hanging out with you for like 20 minutes or so, and also seemingly damaging other players and talking to me in this really condescending, weird vocal tone of speech, I'm good. I'm good, man. You're a freak, and I don't care to hang out with you anymore. Like, Jesus, dude. I don't know, man. This is kind of the thing I have been told by other people who used to play this game a lot, of why I should not like interact with people from like the Sky Discord or other social media and such, because they're like that a lot of the time, apparently, after I talked with other people about this instance. I was like, oh, so and that's what I had kind of assumed, is that there are some really socially dissonant people who have been in this game maybe a bit too long and don't understand or don't want to understand how to talk to people regularly. So I'm good on that. So I'm just glad I'm not them. So in any case, that's the Shu thing. But what are we doing today? So how long have we been here? About 20 minutes. That's about regular for the normal preamble. I'm surprised it hasn't been longer. It feels like I've talked for like 40 minutes, but... Right. You see this like left-facing thing? That's what I'm talking about with the drift. It's like I'm not facing left. I'm like that. I'm not even touching. I'm holding the controller with one hand right now. I'm not even touching right now. And my character's doing this. This is the DualShock 5 drift I'm talking about. He's just going on his own. Oh, man. Okay, let's try to correct that. So, it's April 2nd, so we've missed out on this. We can't do this, so we probably won't be doing this maybe ever in the game, because I highly doubt I'll be playing this game on the 1st of a month anytime specifically. But we are going to finish up whatever light mending is here. There should be like 3 instances of it. I haven't done the light mending in a long time. How many are there? 1, 2, 3. I think all of them are available. I do have all of the unlockable, like, special things like the capes and such. So, the season of light mending for me is essentially over at this point. It's just wrapping up the rest of the story plot with this, which is what we're intentionally doing today. I don't think that we're going to I don't know if we're going to do anything after the light mending stuff, to be honest. This video is much more of just a kind of catch up, what's been going on. What I want to do today is mostly the light mending, just to wrap up the season of light mending before it kind of closes out completely. And yeah, I don't intend to do any of like the story mission stuff today. We'll probably do that next time, but like next time, quote unquote, of playing Sky, because right now I do have, as I said at the beginning, an idea for something I haven't done in 6 years with the channel, and I would like to give it a try. So the Sky content is going to wind down, but not go away. It might kick back up again if the next season after this is interesting enough to me, but honestly at this point, similar to the Season of Bloom and some of these other ones, if it doesn't catch me, then it's just gonna kind of be meh. Maybe once in a while. Another thing about winding down the Sky stuff a bit is it has me interested again in getting back into Assassin's Creed to finish Assassin's Creed Mirage, do the Paris DLC finally of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I would like to do all of that before Assassin's Creed 4 Remastered comes out, which is still going to be years away, but still. One interesting and funny thing I did realize, well, I found out just like a week or so ago, is I talked in a previous recent part about thinking about revisiting Shenmue 3 just for shits and giggles, and apparently Shenmue 3 is getting it is getting a deluxe edition, like, redo. It's not like a full remaster, it's kind of just like a fix-up of issues people had with Shenmue 3. I didn't have too many issues with Shenmue 3. I'm one of those weird people that really enjoyed it. I like Shenmue 1 and 3. 2 is the one I don't really care too much about. Weirdly enough, just because the city is really, really confusing to navigate, and I don't care... Weirdly enough, I don't care as much for the combat the combat emphasis in Shenmue 2 compared to 1 or 3. I like the combat to be kind of an extra thing in Shenmue. I know it's a Mortal Kombat. I know it's a martial arts story, but I like the combat to be a bit more minimal in my Shenmue games, because then when you're doing it, it feels really special and memorable. You're in a fight. You are a dude in a fight, and that is what I like when Shenmue does that right. If you do it too much like in Shenmue 2, it just becomes kind of an action schlock thing. And that's not entirely my vibe with Shenmue. I have a bit more thoughtfulness with it. But from what I've seen about the deluxe edition of Shenmue 3, they fixed quite a few things that has me interested, actually. They made the camera look more like Shenmue 1 and 2, which interests me. I'm fine with the camera in Shenmue 3, but I kind of like Shenmue 1 and 2's camera more. And apparently they've rebalanced a lot of things. They've rebalanced the money system, which is really kind of the big issue I had with Shenmue 3 as well. It's just, if you don't collect every herb and other little thing that you can sell per area, you're not going to have enough money. And even then, I still had to do a lot of grinding on, like, cutting wood and things in Shenmue 3. I recommend the Shenmue 3 playlist. Playthrough. The playlist for it, I think, is still on the front of the channel. But it's from 6 years. It's from 6 years ago now. That's crazy to me. It still feels relatively recent. It's been over half a decade. That's crazy. But I do recommend it if you want to see a slightly younger me play Shenmue 3. I just found it really funny how I brought up thinking about playing Shenmue 3 again. And lo and behold, it's announced that there is a deluxe edition coming out. So I'm like, oh, that's coincidental and timely. Thank you, the universe, as Sokka would say. I need to rewatch Avatar. I've been meaning to do that for the past, like, 2 months. But, as I will reiterate again for the billionth time, I'm busy. Oh, and if you do see, like, we have less wings than we had before, I did end up actually getting hit by a dark dragon. I was hanging out with another new person in the game socially, and we were in the Golden Wasteland, and funny enough, we got hit by a golden dragon in the area where Shu was, like, sacrificing, I will put it, sacrificing another player. So, I'm the one who got hit, the other person got away, and immediately tried to become friends with me, and we shared hearts and such, because I think that they viewed it as me, like, trying to protect them or something. I don't know, that was the kind of vibe that kind of was given off in a weird parasocial way, which... Okay. But I am currently missing 1 wing to get to 100 for all of the wings we used to have. Which is kind of annoying, but, you know. Alright, let's stop yapping and get to looking. But yeah, I'm not sure. I have a lot of weird little snips of different things. Me clipping out of bounds, me interacting socially with other people. I have a lot of like little 10 to 20 minute clips over the past month or so that I don't know what to do with. They're not long enough to put out as like their own little videos or anything. I'm not that kind of person anyway to put out like little 20-minute videos of playing a game or anything like that. But they're also like days or weeks apart, so it's just like I don't know what to do with them. They're just sitting on my hard drive right now. When I'm done recording this, because I like to record these actual parts as long plays, as like hour, 2 hour, which is still it's long, but like, man, I still find it kind of crazy how that one, what was it, like part 9 or something, part 8 or 9 of the playthrough ended up being like 5 hours of a whole video. That's the longest video I've put on the channel, let alone it's also all in 4K. I didn't expect Sony Vegas to render that thing, because historically it always crashes around the 4.5 hour mark, but it did it, and I'm very surprised. And pleased, because I didn't have to split up that video then. But, I think I'm gonna comb through the, like, dozen videos that I have of just, like, random stuff, and see if any of it would be worthwhile to put onto the end of this. So if you stick around for the end, or want to skip ahead because you're on YouTube and there's the magic of scrubbing, as we used to call it, scrubbing ahead to the end of the video, there might be some little tidbits of some bonus stuff that I don't have any specific use for, but would like to throw into something. There is one video. As we all, whoever's left in this light mending instance... Okay, somebody found something. I was about to say, since we seem to be stuck trying to find things. One of these snips is actually an hour long. I don't have any voiceover in it. I'm not going to share it because it is extremely boring. one of the snips I will show will be me being out of bounds in the Colosseum Temple for the Valley of Triumph. I get out of bounds, and I like that one. I meet some sketchy people there, and it kind of ends after I meet these sketchy people because I'm just kind of hanging around there for like another 40 minutes. But right after that, I decided to jump into the water and swim towards the Eye of Eden. Like, it's not here in this map, but the Eye of Eden, like, PNG, the mountain that you see in most of the maps in this game, I swim to it. And I achieved that by sticking a hairband, because I get long hair. I stuck a hairband in my DualShock 5 DualSense controller and locked it in position to keep the player moving forward. And I let it just go. I went off and did other things. I was watching the sumo tournament at the time, the one that was in Osaka, I believe. And I got to watch, I may as well bring that up since I got to watch Aonishiki keep his Ozeki status, which was really cool. He could have fallen out to Kadoban, but he did not. If you don't know anything about sumo, none of this will mean anything, but the tournament went very well. And Kirishima became Ozeki, which is really good. Well, he regained his Ozeki status. He was Ozeki before. If you don't know anything about sumo, Ozeki is like the top status before you become Yokozuna. And to get Yokozuna is extremely difficult. Somebody found it, yay! But yeah, the sumo tournament was really cool to watch. But yeah, so I had the character swim to the Eden PNG. And it took an hour. I was really surprised. From the out-of-bounds map area in the Valley of Triumph to get to the Eye of Eden, like PNG, out in the water wasteland, it's nothing out there. There is an invisible wall, weirdly enough, in that map that stops you from going there. I ended up going so far to the right around it that I went around the invisible wall that blocks the player if they, for some reason, out of bounds, decided to jump in the water and swim for 50 minutes. Which was really funny. I was like, I know that that game company doesn't care too much about going out of bounds as long as you don't utterly break the game. But I still found it funny how they put an invisible wall out there. And it was clear that it was intentionally put because it ended at a point and I was able to go around it. But yeah, it took a long time. There's nothing behind it. It's just a PNG. It's even see-through. But it was way further than I ever expected it to be, which is why why I'm glad I went back to doing my own stuff in the meantime. This light mending device can now be used to light mend daily lanterns. Yeah, seeing the emotes there kind of as a period point for the whole like social interaction stuff with this game. If you're watching this and you're either actually personable or, you know, socially inclined, no offense to other people who aren't, but just in general, just like people are like, yeah, if someone tells you like weird stuff and then you get like annoyed by it or something because it's just like that's not socially acceptable. Doesn't matter if it's online or anything like that. That just tells me that you're like that in real life. Maybe try to keep... And that's what I'm doing with this game now, is I'm going to keep away from, like, the weird text chat stuff. Because it seems like a lot of people don't have any restraint on that. Or social class etiquette on how to behave with other people. Stick to the emotes is the thing. Stick to the emotes. The emotes, like, almost all of the time that I have like socially interacted with people with just using the emote system, fantastic. And you feel like you can hang out with them for like an hour or two, couple days if you meet up in the same instances again, and just interacting with them with the emote system is like a weirdly solid safeguard. It's like a weird solid safeguard from these other people just like being mainly just rude. Not specifically too weird, but just like really rude. It's that kind of rudeness where if you're not doing what they want to do right now, then they're going to shit down your neck about it. And I don't care for that because that just tells me you're insufferable. It's like, if I want to hang out with you, we can hang out, dude. I don't know if I'm just too much of a hippie about that, but just like, okay. The emote system's really good. Alright. We're getting closer to wrapping this up. And this is also why I'm probably just expecting to finish up the light mending stuff today, because we're already like 40 minutes in. These tend to take around 20 to 25 minutes each. On average, from my experience. Oh, this one's red. I'll allude a little bit better. Not better, but just like a little more towards what I have as an idea for that whole 6-year concept being revisited soon. Probably will be the next video after this. I'm not sure yet, though. If not, then I'll probably stick in another Assassin's Creed. I will try to like progress in Assassin's Creed Mirage. But Concrete Genie, we just did a replay of it back in the fall a few months ago, and I still utterly love the game. Funny enough, last time I played that game before that was 6 years ago as well. But I recently got the art book for it. The art book for Concrete Genie is actually kind of rare and annoyingly expensive, and I got it for like 20 bucks from somebody on Amazon. If you go on like eBay to try and look up a new or used copy, it's like 40 to 70 bucks. It's kind of crazy. And reading that art book, because a lot of it is much more of a narrative. It's a very narrative through line of the entire creative process that Pixelopus had through Concrete Genie. And it's a fantastic read. It is a fantastic art book. I love it. I'm so glad I got it. Because I love Concrete Genie even more now. And it makes me really disappointed that the studio closed 2 years ago. I'm like, oh man, these guys put a lot of effort and work into this. And it's such a good vision and so many good ideas. The one overarching thing I will critique Pixelopus on from everything that they wrote in the art book of their development practices that I could see Sony being probably a little annoyed at. They did the quality thing of taking a lot of time to conceptualize. They spent years doing that along with some slight game development in like the early years. Concrete Genie was in development for like 6 years or so, like 5-6 years, which is kind of crazy for a game that's only like 5 hours long like that. But, and it's also not like a major Sony release, which I could tell from a lot of the artists, and I know I'm just kind of yapping again. Today's a yap video, I'm sorry. It's been a while. I just want to talk about stuff. But it's very clear from a lot of the decisions they decided to make for the progression of development in Concrete Genie were created out of a lack of resources. A lot of things were created in that game, from down to the art style being kind of puppet-like and kind of like stop-motion Leica-esque and things. A lot of these were cost-effective, creative decisions done under limitation, which I found very inspiring, but also very interesting, just in general, from a business standpoint. It's very clear Sony had some interest in the studio, but they also, like, they had enough interest to fund the game, ship the game, but it's very clear that they also at some point got kind of done in a way with them not having put out a product yet. And they're like, okay, you guys got like another year and a half or two, you need to speed shit up. And they did, and that might explain why Concrete Genie feels like a very extremely thoughtful art experience. But as a game, the back end half, once the... Let me get the book. Man, that's kind of the annoying thing is, like, I have a lot of great art books, and I would love to kind of show them off and talk about them and stuff. But you can't. You legally can't. I can, like, open this up and, like, talk a little bit about it, but, like, I can't really, like, show you anything, and that's an annoying thing about art books. Like, the dark genies towards the end of the book and the end of the game, they're like the last 1/3 of the game, and the art book shows so much concept art, so many ideas for the dark genies. Some of this stuff is amazing. The final designs for the dark genies really clicked when the skeletal forms were clearly visible underneath the darkened fur. They don't really have too much of a skeletal design in the final game. Like, their arms and legs are skeletal, but they used to be bloody. They used to be, like, demonic. This is, like, nightmare stuff, and it looks amazing as concept art. There's this one where it's just, like, a giant Leviathan dark genie with, like, blood pouring out of its rib cage, and it's so awesome. And they didn't use this, as I shut the book, like, really hard. They didn't use any of it. And it was due to technical limitations, and they also felt that it was a bit too much. But I look at this stuff and I'm like, you guys put so much effort into the back end of the game, and then it's like an hour long, and it didn't really... It's the least memorable part of the game. I'm frankly being honest about that. I know nobody from Pixel Opus is watching this, but it's the least memorable part of the game. When I went back and played it in the fall, I had forgotten most of any of that had happened, including the lighthouse stuff. They paint the lighthouse as being such an important center hub of the game in the art book, and it's the beginning of the game, and then you don't visit it to the end, and it's a very brief thing, and it's just... It's not as deep as the book makes it and the conceptualizing makes it in the actual game experience. It's just kind of weird. It's kind of weird to, like, think about that as someone who really enjoys the game and knows the game, enjoys everything about it, and reading the book and seeing what they thought was going on with it and just not seeing the entire player picture of that experience. So... It's interesting to me because it more so validates my, like, issues with... and they're not even big issues, but just like, you know, that could have been better, that could have been better, that felt kind of light. It kind of weirdly validates my thoughts on some of that stuff with the way that they're talking about it, but it also shows me that, like, oh, they had such big ideas for this stuff, and it just didn't happen. So it comes off as... the book is extremely... good. If you like Concrete Genie, if you know what that game is, because I know a lot of people watching this have probably never heard of or played the game, I recommend Concrete Genie a lot. If you like the game, I do recommend the art book if you can get it cheap. I would absolutely not recommend getting it for like $40 or $70 or whatever it is right now at this instance in 2023. If you can get it used cheaply, like I did, go for it. It's a really, really interesting read. But, yeah, the reason why I bring up Concrete Genie is because something involved with that six-year thing, it does involve Concrete Genie. A little bit. A little bit. I try to keep it so vague, man. It's so hard to keep it vague. There are things going on in the background for the channel all the time. Even if it's like I don't upload for like a month, there's stuff going on. It might not be Sky-related stuff. It might not be Assassin's Creed-related stuff. It could just be editing. It could just be recording stuff that doesn't end up getting used. I keep busy. When I'm not doing stuff in real life, I focus on other things. But sadly, my life is busy, so I can't dedicate a whole lot of time to this YouTube thing, man. I said it a while ago. I might have even said it during, like, the Concrete Genie playthrough or something, or maybe one of the more recent, well, not recent, but just one of the Sky parts or something. But, like, if the channel had taken off maybe, like, 5 years ago or something, then I would have probably put a lot, like, there would be a lot more time dedicated to making stuff for this, but that is not how the dream of the childhood turned out. What is this? Why is it directing me to leave? I'm not leaving. I don't know why that is. I find it more weird that everybody we entered here with is not going after the crystals. There's crystals right in front of us. This might be like the weirdest instance of the light mending stuff that we've done so far. Just nobody's going after the crystals. There's a bunch of people in here. Yeah, I am really, really hoping that this thing that I have in the works, I really, really hope it works out. Because that will be, for me personally, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll see. Yeah, there's just like dudes hanging out. Like nobody's going after the crystals or anything. Okay, there was one. I don't see any over here, which is good. Okay, there's one down there. I would also like to thank those of you who have been watching these Sky videos. I don't know if I've really done that so far, but I looked back at the channel before I started this, and I was like, oh man, there's actually a notable amount of people who have, like, seemingly consistently watched the Sky videos. So thank you for that. Sorry if I'm a big gabber. That's just my person. I do that in real life, too. As I've said before in plenty of previous videos, my professors love me because I can lecture for 5 hours. I'm also a great listener, which is great for, you know, great for lecturing. I just had some, actually, on that topic, I just had somebody on my recent, like, show job. Oh, geez, we just warped. Okay, so that's what those do. On my recent show job, like, I had somebody just vent to me for 40 minutes about how much they hate their current job. And, I don't entirely, like, care to hear that, but I'm gonna be positive and give constructive personal life thoughts about that, about like, okay, well, you're a young adult, you're younger than me, I get that you hate your job, you know, just try to stick it out, you know. I'm not doing a good job being like kind of thinking about it right now, because it's not like I'm in the moment or anything anymore, but you know, just like don't just jump ship off your job or anything like that. You gotta have something going on at the same time. Otherwise, if you do that, you're gonna have a whole lot of trouble trying to find another job generally. Not all the time, but most of the time. And yeah, just, you know, just like listening to them, giving some advice. I will frankly say 40 minutes is a lot of time for somebody to just utterly vent about their current job situation and the dumb people that they're having to be stuck with and deal with. I get that. I've worked dumb jobs in the past that really, really, really were not great. And I'm glad I don't work those anymore. Because my current job is great. But, and I make way more money. But, yeah. It's just, people be, as I said earlier with the whole, like, Sky thing, just, like, people be people. Me from a month ago, that's just an inherent thing. People be people. Oh wait, the wing limitation thing was something that is stuck in here. Oh, it's a limitation so you don't fly around too much at the beginning of a light mending session. Oh, I see that now. Okay. I see. So I'm actually, given that I don't know when that whole Dark Dragon thing when we lost the wings happened, I don't know if we actually have all of our wings back like normally or not. I know we had 99. I don't know if we actually have 100. We might have 100. We might have them all back again. Okay, I see that one over there. I see that one over there, too. So, I don't know. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Oh, that would suck to fall into that one. There's water down there. It would have been cheeky if they put one, like, back here in this corner that nobody would go in. I think there's one in there. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Oh, is that one? Huh. Oh, and someone else found it as well. Alright, this one's done. Two more. I will say one annoying thing about it being spring now is the amount of rain. We get a lot of rain here, and I'm looking forward to the sun being, like, totally out. The sun was out a few days ago, and it was really nice to be outside, but, yeah. The rain, it's been raining for 5 days now, which is rather annoying. But, you know, it is supposed to be sunny in a few more days. It's supposed to be raining in like an hour again. This light mending device can now be used to lighten daily lanterns. I know I've talked about them in the past, but I'm a big fan of Vansire. They're a Midwest indie pop band from Minnesota. I've been to a few of their concerts. I've met Sam and Josh. Really cool dudes. And they have a new album coming out in June. I'm very excited for it. The last album that came out was like in May of 2022. And they have consistently just occasionally been putting out a lot of singles over the past like 3 or 4 years. And they put out a single last night and announced the date of the new album and the name, and I'm really, really looking forward to it in June. So, in the future, it will be nice to go to another one of their concerts. And that is Vansire. Really good tunes. Alright, what do we got here? The Energy Exciter. Yeah, so they do limit your wings when you're starting off in one of these areas. Okay, I don't honestly think I've paid attention to that too much since I've been playing this. I was like, wait a minute, why do we have so many wings missing? Oh, it might have been because of the Dark Dragon thing that happened a while ago for me, but we, like, got our wings back from it after a period of time. No, it's just the game mode. Oh, so it straight up is just a big lantern. I think I said this maybe like 2 or 3 parts ago, but they really kind of ran out of ideas for the end of this, like, season for what these devices should be, huh? I think I said that like 2 or 3 parts ago when I started, like, looking at what they're supposed to be. Because they put out a list on Instagram when they started this about, like, what all these devices are, and I was like, you know, a lot of these are starting to sound kind of samey or boring. Like, we already have all these tons of candles everywhere, and the area, the light mending zone itself, this space, it recharges you inherently the same way a lot of the spaces in the vault do. So having a big lantern is just kind of funny to me. It's kind of funny to me in a way. It's completely pointless. But at the same time, thanks, I guess? Yeah, seeing that is a thing is actually just really amusing to me. Oh, there's a crystal right over here. Woo! Look at the updraft. That's great. That was kind of cool. Okay, so there's still like a crystal missing. I don't know where it is though. Is it in here? No. Somebody found one somewhere. Is it in here? No. I don't know why, but this color scheme reminds me of Bionicles. Maybe it's just the really well lit, like, geometric stuff in here. I don't know why, because I've played many of these maps, and it tonally is completely different, but this lighting with these kind of, like, polygons and shapes in here, for some reason it just reminds me of Bionicles, and I haven't thought of Bionicles in, like, 20 years. The island of Matanui. I was never big into Bionicles as a kid. I was a die-hard LEGO kid as a teenager, though. And then I completely dried off on that. Just completely. When I was like 16 or something like that, I fell extremely hard off of LEGOs. I still, like, I think Legos are fine. I think Legos are fine, but, like, I haven't played with Legos or bought Legos since probably I was, like, 17 or something. I have a brand new Lego set in one of my closets, actually, that I have not opened, that I got for Christmas, like... Oh god, I don't even know how long ago. It was like right after I fell off of Legos and like my parents got it for me because they still were like, well, maybe he still likes Legos and such, and it's just like, no. No. Like, Legos are fine, but to me it's just kind of a waste of money. Which is really funny because I was into Legos before, like, social media really made Legos like a cash cow. And they were expensive back then, in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. They were still expensive back then. But my god, are man children crazy now with it? It's kind of weird. Like, having whole basements full of like brand new sealed Legos and trying to be like social media influencers on like Legos and such, that's crazy. That is completely crazy to me. I could not live a life like that. That's nuts. It's also weirdly sad to me. It's just like, this is what this person has chosen to do with their life, which is like, good for you, dude. Sure, do what you want, but in the grand scheme of things, I look at this like, man, you could be doing so much more with your life. Instead of just being a consumer. But once again, that's my person and the hippie in me. Just like, man, if you're just going on to social media to talk about, like, I don't know, what Lego set you've collected or what action figures you have, it's like, I'm sure you love that stuff, and that's awesome how you love that stuff. If that is how you view the value of your person and what you want to, like, give the world, I think that needs some reassessment. Because you could be painting, you could be doing theater, you could be making music, you could be doing something actually contributing to, you know, existing in a way. I don't know, that's just me. As an artist, I'm biased on that though, so, you know. Oh, there were only 2 of us in here. Yeah, that Lego set, if I remember right, I haven't seen it. I know it's in a closet somewhere. I haven't seen it in like 10 years or something. It was the Back to the Future DeLorean set from Clouseau, like the Clouseau series. This was before like they had the creator thing. This is old. Well, roughly old. For me, it's still like, you know, like 15 years ago is not that long ago, but it also is. But, yeah, that was from the Clouseau series where you would, like, submit user-created Lego sets and people would vote on them, and then they would go through a feasibility state with Lego and they would make it into a set. And they would, if in, like, the Back to the Future instance, they would have to get, like, the license. I think, like, the more recent ones they've done of that have been, like, with Seinfeld and maybe, like, Jurassic Park or something, I don't know. Well, they've had Jurassic Park Lego sets, but I'm just saying, like, I know that there was, like, a Seinfeld one that was a more recent one that they did like that, where it's just, like, weird properties that other people are interested in seeing a Lego set for. This was because I do know that they eventually made, like, an actual, like, Back to the Future car DeLorean set that was more recent in, like, the past 5 years or something. This is from, like, 15 years ago or something they did a set. And it's just sitting in a closet somewhere of mine, because I haven't really cared to do it. I don't have it. Honestly, I don't have anywhere where I would put it. Like, it doesn't really fit with anything in my office, and it doesn't really fit with anything anywhere else in my house. I'm just like, it's that's kind of a weird thing that I feel about Legos is they just collect dust. The fun is in building the Lego set, and then you're kind of done. It's almost like opening a gashapon. The fun in a gashapon is opening the gashapon and seeing what you get, and then you're done with it. With building a Lego set, the fun is in building the Lego set, and then you're kind of done with it. You're not really going to play with the Lego set too much because you don't want to break it, because they suck to fix sometimes, depending on how complex the set is. So, yeah, I would rather spend money on books or something, man. Something I can read and read over and over again. Like this Concrete Genie art book. Or I don't know, get like a record or more film for me to shoot stuff on. Or even another video game, just like that Shenmue 3 Deluxe Edition is kind of tasty looking, but it's also $60 for the deluxe. So I'm like, it's a little expensive. If it were like 40 or 50, I would probably buy it, but 60's at kind of that like, Which is also why I'm kind of glad this game is free, generally. It's like, well, I can play this game and have a good time with it. I've spent like $20 on this. $10 for the outfit I have worn for the entire playthrough, generally. And, $10 on the light mending thing, and that's it. Which for me is great value gaming. What is... Okay, we're having a moment. Dancing the swing. We're going to the moon. Look how fast we're moving. I don't want to peek the mic, but just like, look how fast we're moving, man. Oh, we are schmoving. We are grooving to the beat, to the rhythm of the night. Look at this. Oh, God. Oh, God, look at our face. Oh, the glitches in this game can be fun. The glitches can be fun. Enough of that. We've had our fun. Okay, apparently this is the last one. Let's see what happens. The end of light mending. Alright, is this light mending area gonna look the same as all the others? Let's see! Come on, this is the last hurrah! This is your big moment where you can make a really interesting environment. Have you guys done that? Let's take a looky-loo. I like how affronting this front area is, but it looks kind of samey. It's fine. The translucent transponder. They love alliteration. Did that person who just was here with us not get that crystal? Oh, this actually looks like the same area we were in earlier. Are they reusing a map for the last area? Oh, come on, guys. Talk about cheap. Okay. Oh, well, that is very timely. So, took a pause. I went to shut the windows in my house because it is actually starting to rain. I had some of the windows open to let in some air. And I forgot to hit record again. So I was doing a little bit of light bending, like, oh crap. I need to hit that button. So, where are we at? We have the last bit. There's one right here. Yeah, it's been really... It's weird because around here, when it gets like this time of year, it gets really dry in your house, but it's really humid outside. So like, you need to kind of aerate your house a bit.
Otherwise everything gets really crispy.
Okay, we're almost done with this. Which is exciting, and I highly doubt that the end of this light mending thing is going to be, like, worthwhile in some sort of awesome kind of way, but we'll see what it is. I think it's just, gonna be... It'll be alright. I'm more curious to see, are they gonna... They've already shown off enough of lore-related stuff with this and what it implies with the vault and these lanterns. But I'm just curious, like, is there gonna be any, like... Is there gonna be any mic drop? Is there gonna be any sort of, like, insane mic drop lore reveal? I doubt it, but I really hope so. Okay, we need another one? Just where is it? I'm not seeing it. Oh! It's over there. Are we going to get the last crystal for light mending? No, there's still more. There's still more. We ain't out of the ballpark yet. Oh! But you're saying there's a chance. You're saying there is certainly a chance. Oh yeah! That makes me happy that we got the last crystal for light mending. That works for my narrative. Oh man, we're not done! No! No. We're not done yet. I thought that was the last one. I think there's only one other person in this instance with us again. So it's mostly us and one other person doing this. Okay. Well, we're going for that one first, if we can get to it. Where are some candles? Well, we're going for this one first, then. Now I'm like excited. Now I'm like, oh, light mending will finally be over and we'll get to see what all this has been leading up to. And it's going to be mid. It's going to be something kind of average, isn't it? It's going to be like a Christmas story. Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine. Play more Sky. Buy more costumes. The cynic in me is winning on that. I'm like, it's not going to be worth it, man. You spent 2 months on this, it's not going to be worth it. I'm just like, no, it is going to be worth it. You gotta fight the angel and the demon on your shoulder. Where's that other one I just saw? This music is overtly Skyward Sword, and it's making me want to play Skyward Sword. Yes, we're gonna plug in Skyward Sword and play it. I saw one over here earlier, and I didn't go for it because I was like, no, I'm gonna get these other ones first. Okay, maybe I was just seeing things, and maybe the other person got it if they're still in here. It's gonna recharge. We're almost done. We're almost through with this. Just don't think about it. It's like getting a shot, or it's like getting a needle stuck in you at the doctor or whatever. Just don't think about it. Don't look at it. It'll be over soon. It'll be fine. I'm actually weirdly bringing up a random-ass subtopic, but I'm actually really fine with needles. I've had enough blood drawn from me that I don't really care. I know a lot of people hate needles, and it's like, I functionally hate them too. But, you know, if you need to get poked, you get poked. They don't even hurt anymore. They used to hurt when I was a kid. Needles have gotten so good, like, in terms of their design and such at the doctors, that they don't hurt at all. You know I'm bored when I'm talking about medical stuff. We're done. I got the last crystal. I didn't see that person in here still, so let's see if they show up at the end.
Yeah, light mending. It was just us.
I feel nothing. In the end, it was us alone who finished the light mending. Alright, how does this end? The big question, the big 2-month question. How does this end? What happens? That's all of them. They're staring at me and talking amongst themselves. Can I be one of you guys too? What did... What did you guys just do? Did you, like, have a stroke? Help, you've fallen and you can't get up. Ah, yes. The four nations. Water, earth, fire, air. Combined, we make light. It's not even properly... Okay, no, okay. It wasn't lined up with our character model, but that's fine. That was it? I didn't even get an opportunity to pose with them. Oh, they've been raptured. Actually, that's a great question. I know that this ends soon. That's kind of why I did this today. Like, I knew that all the light mending things were open. I had some free time today. When does, Sky, when does the season of light mending end? Oh, it ends today. Okay, good thing I chose to do this today then. It ends today when the server resets. Okay. That is extremely timely. I just did it today because I'm like, you know, the new things are open. I know it ends soon. Oh, it's today. Okay, good on me then for recording this today. It's like, I could have put it off till tomorrow or something, but no. Good. Okay. That's it? I think that's it. The other light mending guys are gone. I assume that... So these are gonna... To my knowledge, after the season of light mending ends, from what I read months ago at this point, this is still going to be available for people to do. But yeah, like all those light mending guys that we were with, they're now seasonal / they'll be like seasonal / traveling spirits or whatever that show up sometimes. They probably won't be around for like another year or two, given how often I have looked up these traveling spirits and how often they return. Some of them don't show up for like 2 or 3 years, which I think is crazy. So, yeah, that's the season of light mending. We have all the devices. We don't really ever have to do this stuff again, which is fine, I guess. And I assume that this guy is just going to stay in here. The light mending guide will just stay in here permanently. He is trapped forever in this room. Right. And I have learned, because this is also technically like the first like big season I've done, like the seasonal candles. We do have 3 cherished candles, by the way. The like seasonal candles that we get, they're just gonna turn into regular candles apparently, which in theory would happen tonight when the season ends. So may as well light these. These will be the last seasonal candles of this event we will be lighting. Let me look at the clock real quick to see if I am essentially done for today. I can go for maybe like 5-ish more minutes, to be honest, because I have to get back to working on a project of mine. And yeah, I'm curious. Let me thank you all. It's quite the getup you have. Oh, that just a ton of ellipses. Okay. So next time... Well, actually, what are the dailies? We have 2 of them. Which is funny. So these are the last dailies for this event, really, I guess. Harvest the sunflower seed light at the garden in Daylight Prairie. Admire the sapling in the Vault of Knowledge. That's a really easy one. We can do that real quick. We could actually just teleport back there, I guess. Where are we? Oh, we're at the entrance. Eh. It is appropriate enough that they decided to choose the last area to put candles in, being the Vault of Knowledge for the event. I can always feel your kindness. And you're playing some instruments. Oh, you can't, like, really swing on these. Your character kinda does it themselves? Yeah, your character does it themselves. I was like, can I move on this? Okay, the last for the daily harvest, the sunflower seed light at the garden in Daylight Prairie. So it would be quicker for us to teleport with these people up here instead of going through most of the prairie itself. Right. So, harvest the sunflower seed light. Oh, one thing I would like... Did they fix this? One thing I would like to point out... They haven't. Okay, so I play on PS5. And the one time that I came here to do a daily mission, they had you collect water with this bucket from here to then use on these flowers to grow them. I love that crab with the sunflower on it. That's wonderful. Look at this guy. Oh, I can't pick him up. Okay. He's a good crab. We don't attack him. So I play on PS5. I'm not sure if it... I'm pretty sure this is an oversight. You can't pick up the bucket on PS5. You can jump into this bucket and sit. You can't really pick any of this stuff up, and I was wondering, is this a touch control thing? Is this like a touch control? Because you have to tap your screen to interact with a lot of stuff on the mobile version. So I booted up the mobile version and used touch controls to interact with these to get this daily mission done from like probably like a week or so ago, and it worked. That was crazy. I was like, wow, so this... pick up water out of this with the buckets is like either a glitch or an oversight on that game company's part, because I can't interact with these. There's no way for me to interact with these objects. but you need to interact with them for a daily mission. So if I didn't have the mobile version of the game, or I don't know if it's like an issue across all the console versions or not, but if I didn't have the mobile version, I wouldn't have been able to complete that daily mission, which is like a bit of an oversight in my opinion as a director. And it's a kind of a ridiculous one too. All you need to do is give a button prompt. Kind of surprised there's not one of those flower things down here. The flower coins for this event. Yeah, I don't really care about a whole lot of any of this stuff going on. I think it looks nice. It's cool because I'm so used to the prairie and how it looks. It's really cool to see something just kind of visually be different here. I don't care about the event itself. So, harvest the sunflower seedlight in the daylight prairie. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Oh, you can climb on these. Honestly, I did not expect this to have, like, this decent amount of collision. I could watch some other players and see if they... if they are doing anything interesting. A few of them are going over here. I think this is just like the shop area, though. This is some of the stuff that you can buy as outfit stuff that I don't care about. Oh, a rare blurry photo. That's funny. I don't take too many blurry photos, especially in this game. Yeah, I'm kind of at that point where, like, I don't really care if I get this or not. I'm not, like, hooked on the dailies or anything anymore like I was back in January and early February. This flower is having a weird lighting bug. Oh, it doesn't even show up on camera. Oh, that's weird. No, 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 no. Get the camera back out. I'm just trying to test some stuff out. Yeah, there's some, these little sunflowers don't appear on the camera, and one of them seems to be kind of having some sort of issue with a lighting glitch. Yeah, I think I'm good here, to be honest. Oh, you had to do that, didn't you? Where are we? No. Magic. Okay, let's refuel. Yeah, so the next... So what's going to happen after this? So I'm going to tack on some random bits. I have no idea how long any of this is going to be. I'm going to tack on random snips that I've taken over the past month or so that have ended up not being like full video sessions or anything like that. Just like I'm busy doing other things and then weird stuff happens, or I happen to, you know, like interact with people, or I don't know what any of these videos are at this point because they just kind of happen. I record them and then I just leave them in my hard drive. So I'm gonna comb through these and see what is like interesting or, you know, coherent enough to put into the end of this. So when we wrap up here, that'll be like the rest of the runtime. And after this video, I intend to see, we're either going to do one of two things after this video. We're not going to be, the next video is not going to be Sky. I will flat out say that. Sky will continue at a later point when I feel like there is something more interesting to do with it, in the sense of like, there is the story progression, we can continue and try to finish that up. I'm putting that on the table for me to do at a little bit of a later point. I want to take a little bit I've already been taking a break from Sky, just in general, but I want to try to play another game or other games next. So if my project idea of doing this thing from 6 years ago ends up working and I'm having a good time with it, that might be the next couple of videos. I'm not sure. We're going to see about that. And if I get a chance to do something before that happens, or if that doesn't end up working out in some way, we're probably going to be going back to Assassin's Creed for a while. What I mean by a while is we'll probably be wrapping up Mirage, like hardline finishing up Mirage, and then jumping into the Paris DLC for Valhalla. I keep saying that. I've been saying that for a couple months at this point after doing Sky, but every time it's just me coming back to Sky, and at this point I'm not entirely burnt out, but I'm just like, I've had my fill. I've had my dinner with it. I've had a good, solid time with it. I still love the game. This was fun. Today was very yappy. The point of today was more so to wrap up the light mending stuff before it ended, and apparently that ends tonight, so good on me for catching that. But yeah, I want to let this sit. My thing is, I don't want to get burnt out on Sky, because I'm at a point where if I set up like time for the next 2 weeks to just play this game like every other day, I'm gonna be so done with this. So I'm at a point where I'm like, I've had a nice tasty dinner, I love this a lot, I'm gonna set it off to the side for a bit again, and not make me not want to play this for like 2 years or something. To be honest, kind of like the big return for this game, because honestly, playing this as much as I have over the past 2 months has been kind of crazy for me in recent years of playing any game, really. I think the last big playthrough we did was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but Valhalla is a big enough and dynamic enough and deep enough game with a solid story, and that's why I want to return to that stuff. This is essentially this is a lot less dense of a game than something like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Valhalla, you could I literally spent like a year or so in there. In this game, I've spent about 2 months in here. It's fine, but it's starting to feel kind of like you're stuck in a room. And you're trying to have make up your own fun with it, which I love doing as well, because when you're given that limitation, it really pushes you to make your own fun, which I really, really endorse and like. But yeah, I'm at a point where I'm like, I kind of want to move on to do. This is why I'm not like a hardcore I could never be like a hardcore Pokemon streamer or YouTuber or anything like that, where you just play like Pokemon, or there are people who just going back like 10 years, there were people who would just play like Overwatch or things like that. I could never be that. I can kind of do that for a period of time with things like The Witcher 3, Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, well, Assassin's Creed in general. I could never be someone who just like hardline plays like Pokemon every single day of their life and do that for like 5 hours a day and like try to have commentary over that. Those people who do that, they're crazy, and I applaud them for that kind of stamina. I have things that I do in real life that, like, I do not have that kind of life, so, you know. Anyway, I'm getting rambly now. Yeah, so Assassin's Creed is back on the docket again after a few months of embracing this game. This game will continue. We will finish up the story mode at some point. Just, I don't know if it'll be in a month, if it'll be in 2 months, if it'll be in a week. I don't know. It could, when it happens, is my point. We're kind of... This is me trying to say, like, you know, the whole, like, 2 videos a day thing, that hasn't really happened for the past month, but that's kind of dead again, because that is, the schedule was fun, but all things must end. And thank you for watching Sky so far, if you have watched most or all of the playthrough. It will continue, and it will happen at some point in the future, if this is the only reason why you're here. But yeah, next, I really hope that this thing I have working works, and if it doesn't, we have Assassin's Creed, and I also have Still Wakes the Deep, Indica, and there was another game. We could try out Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. I got that for Christmas a few months ago, and I've installed it, but I haven't like tried it or anything yet. And I'm not in the mood for a full like Elder Scrolls playthrough right now, not at all. But it would be, it's a potential to like try it and just see how it is. But yeah, this secret thing where if you go back 6 years and look at the types of videos I've made, it might stand out. Probably won't, because it was honestly more of a thing from 7 years ago when I started the channel. And the last time I did it was about 6 years ago. But yeah, so this is the status of things. Just letting you know. And up next is going to be random clips of things that have happened over the past month or so. I don't know entirely what a lot of these are at the moment while I'm recording this, because they were very random and sporadic, and we'll see what they are. So thank you for watching. We'll continue Sky in the future. And have a good night. Enjoy these little clippy-doos. Yeah, if they kind of just wanted to hang out there. We got a trophy from it, which is really cool. I'm not entirely sure what else they had planned, because, like, if they had anything planned, because, like, they didn't seem too interested in talking with any of the other players either there. They were just kind of there futzing around, which is fine, because, you know, that was a really bizarre encounter. That was one of the weirdest, most culty things I, like, aside from being, like, ambushed by a bunch of people in the therapy room once they realized that I could hear them talking and such. That was one of the most weirdly culty kind of things, where we were all like just holding our candles together and dancing and doing weird stuff, and then the grandma spirit showed up, which I read nothing about being possible in the SkyWiki or other places that I've seen. Like, I've looked this up, like, how do you get this grandma spirit there? Because I'm just aware of older players and such calling it Grandma's house as like a residual thing. I didn't know a spirit actually still like was activatable in that spot. So that's kind of some like obscure information at this point, I think, which is really cool to see and capture on camera. Now I'm glad I turned this on. What? Okay, Grandma has shown up. I don't know if this is like a ritual to summon her or what happened. I feel like I'm learning weird cult secrets, as if I haven't encountered enough culty people in this game already. We just summoned her like a demon. Why is she... I was about to say, like, why does she seem so... What is this? I have no idea what we're doing, but I feel like we're summoning, like, a cacodemon or something from Doom. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Is this just how people play Sky when they're together with other people? Just summon demons and piss off Grandma? I'm not sure what's going on here. What is this? What have you brought me into, Shu? So I can, like, record this, but... yeah, just really weird. That was a really bizarre encounter. We're gonna jump in the therapy room real quick to kind of refresh. Okay, are there any weird things today? Oh, no. Wait, this is for... oh, okay, I think this is that same person that did the insane rant last time that we talked about last time. I think this is the same person. This, I think, would be for this week. Well, no, 227. This would be for last week. Yeah, it's the same one. This is a different message. Welcome to another week of my personal rants. Well, it's not really personal if you put it online. This week has been so very stressful, but each day gets better. Been drawing and working out more, which has helped my mood a lot. Passing school, work is slay. That's all good to hear. But been stressed with personal situations. Yeah, you kind of made that clear last time, but hopefully that is over now. Just gotta take it one day at a time. Okay. Lately I've been trying to figure out what to also do with my life for college. Okay? I'm 18, by the way. Lol. You're 18 and you, like, all that stuff that happened last week, jeez. I don't know what to pick. I have plenty of time to plan. So young, but... you know, it's better to wait and pick you want instead of quickly picking the wrong thing. Okay? Okay, that was a lot more chill. I am very surprised a week after that previous message that they're that chill. So good on them for seemingly still, you know, having composure. Good on you, whoever you are. If any of that stuff you said before is real... and, like, you're 18 and you went through that, then, dude, take a month off for yourself. Relax, have some fun, and I wish you the best if any of that you said previously was real. That's the thing. I work with 18-year-olds. I work with 16-year-olds. I work with I work with people anywhere from, like, 15 to 65. So... when you work in the arts, you work with a whole slew of different types of people. So I'm really impressed that they wrote that message so composed, and things that they had to say in that message seemed to be positive. That is a very, very good thing to see. But yeah. Yeah, I was not expecting that kind of composure. That is wonderful for you, dude. I hope things keep getting better. The stuff that you told about previously absolutely sucks. I am still mildly disturbed at some of it. Mildly, I say. Some of that stuff was just horrendous. So, good on you. Good on you for still seeing some good at this present moment. It's been like a week. That's impressive. Okay, So I'm recording this out of curiosity. So I flew up into the top windows of the temple in at the valley. So going forward that way, that's the doorway open for the valley. That going forward into those temples and such would lead you into the wasteland area. I was trying to look through these windows with my camera because they have invisible walls at them, but I was in the middle of using the camera and suddenly it allowed me to go through this one invisible wall, and it seems to have just loaded in these little nodules with messages. So I think we're out of bounds. I think we're out of bounds at the temple. You can see straight down. It looks like there's straight up just an ocean back there, but the weird part that was catching my eye was that, like, I kept looking at that, and when you bring up the camera, you just see a ton of, like, lights, and I'm not sure why. Like, you could see that there's sources of lights, but as soon as you see them, they start to fade away, so I'm not sure what that is entirely. What does this nodule have to say? Take some light. Oh, I could use some light at this moment, I guess, since we're where we are. Ooh, I just don't want to get stuck in bounds again. So whoever this is, thank you very much for this extra light, because I used all of it to get up here. So yeah, this is a little extra thing, and I have no idea. This is where I wish, like, save states were, like, a possible thing, so I could kind of reload here. I guess if it teleports me back, or if anything weird happens, I could come back here and try again real quick, but I don't know. Yeah, this is interesting. So, we're going to jump out of this. Well, first off, let's take a look around real quick with the camera. Like, the mountain here is very simple. It's just a simple triangle. And then we have the buildings that then lead to the wasteland that way. But behind the temple, where you're never supposed to go, is supposed to be the Colosseum and the rest of the valley. But it looks like here from the inside of the temple, it's just an ocean. So, let's see. Ooh, could we get on top of the temple? That would be amazing. Yeah, we can. Okay, we're on top of the temple. It has snow on parts of it, it seems. That's actually interesting. You can see this is supposed to be like the main temple, and then for all that tunnel stuff and like the cavernous interior parts of it, they like didn't put snow on top of it, and it seems like it might have been added in later or something. I don't know. What is... Oh, that's a... I was seeing one of these golden spires just kind of clip over there for another building, but... Yeah, so this is wild. This is incredibly wild. I'm just in the middle of doing the dailies. I've been trying to... I found it out of bounds while I'm trying to get to the Meditate at the Temple of the Valley daily mission thing. I, for the life of me, cannot find it. I've meditated at the temple proper, and that opened the doorway, and that didn't do anything. I went through the cavern area and couldn't find whatever this is supposed to be. I went out of here. I went to the wasteland prep area. Before you get to the wasteland, there was nothing there. I went to the area in the Colosseum, and there was nothing there. So I don't know where this meditate at the temple thing is right now at this present moment. Look at that mountain just get cut in half. Boy, howdy, is that a sight. It's almost just like a rectangle that they then shoved sideways into the side there to make it look like a mountain. It's convincing. From inside, it's convincing. What is that? Oh, I almost thought that was... Like, what are these lights? Look at those. I almost thought that this was like a mountain, like a little landform or something down there underneath the water. I'm curious how far this water plane goes. This is also kind of interesting because I don't see or haven't encountered any like little nodules or prop spots or anything. A lot of times in out of bounds, what is... Oh my god. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. That's actually very fascinating. Also, what is that? You see that there? On the side of the building. What is that? It's Sasquatch. It's Sasquatch, guys. We found him. It's Bloody Mary. We found the ghost. We found the ghost. So that we're gonna. Oh my god. I feel like Zach Baggins just reviewing his ghost footage or something. Oh man, this is fascinating. So, first off, yeah, I find it interesting how there doesn't seem to be any little prop or message nodules out here. I'm not sure how easy it is to get out here or not. I was just fiddling with my camera and I happened to seem to squeeze through the invisible wall at those windows. So I don't know if that was an easy thing or a hard clip or how difficult that actually just happened to be that I happened to get extremely lucky, if that might have been the situation here. I don't know. I turned the camera on as soon as this has happened, and this is amazing, man. Oh man, whoa. The camera is almost functioning when I'm looking down like this. Whoa, well, there's the doorway out of here. I don't want to hit the load zone. That could actually be a plane. Although at the same time, the plane should be right here. So I'm assuming it doesn't go up above the ceiling in there. They probably have it mapped directly to the door geometry. I'm not sure. So I want to take a look at whatever the heck that thing was. And that... Oh, what is this surface? It's like soot. Or dirt. Is this sand? It's almost like the sand that you see in the Isle of Mists. Well, the Isle of Dawn, whatever. The starting area. My brain's going 1,000 miles a minute, man. Oh. Okay. I thought what was peeking out over here might have been some sort of weird manta ray thing, but it seems to actually just be the clouds for the area that then takes you into the wasteland, which is interesting because you can see the ground geometry there. I don't know if you can really ever see that, which they would have built upon. And look at that. Look at that. There's just I don't think I've even seen this in the liminal areas or anything like that. There's just a message is here. Someone has been here before. There's just a sheer wall of cloud. Look at that. I don't think I've ever seen that in the game. It's stretched from the sea up. That's what the... So I'm aware that we haven't encountered so far in the playthrough any of the elders. There's apparently some sort of elder meeting or something when you actually unlock them into the constellations. We haven't really encountered that before. I know it's some type of thing in the game. I know it's a thing, and that's how you unlock them into the constellations as the last spirits in each of the constellations. Can't really shorten constellation, I guess. The constels. I'm not sure if this is the place that happens, because the cutscene for it, or the events with it, are apparently at some sort of little islands that are below them. One of those little islands that happens at is actually one that we saw underneath the forest in the area prior to this. When we tried to fly underneath that before, and we saw those land formations many parts ago, one of those land formations was actually one of those elder shrines, is what I'm understanding. I'm not sure if this is the elder shrine for this one. Way over here? Or what? This is just wild, man. I'm also curious about this with the shadows being really weird over here. Because they're almost it's almost like a zoom effect in GIMP or Photoshop or something, where they're kind of just shearing at us, which normally implies some sort of physical object. And I'm not sure if that's just a weird shadow mapping oversight, or if that is literally something under the water that goes down that deep, or what. I have no idea. All right, we're about to hit the time where we're at. We have to make a decision on what we're doing. So First off, we're going to see what this says. Someone left... Someone left a recharge point up here. Thank you, whoever you are. It's ridiculous that you also got here as well. But, pretty cool. So, first off, look at that. Oh man, I'm so kind of glad we're here right now. That is an adorable facade. So, you're supposed to see the, like, capital city of this civilization from the wasteland. You're supposed to see the capital city as kind of like a facade there in the distance when you're going through the doorway from the temple. And because we're so high up, we can see the full facade, I think. I think that's what that's supposed to be, unless this is something else, because some of these towers are independently floating, and I'm not sure if this is like some other type of lost city facade. That actually doesn't look like... Yeah, that doesn't look like the lost... Because from down below, it would be kind of covered up by those clouds there. That looks like a different thing, in my opinion. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a facade for the city in the wasteland, which actually wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if you think about how far down the wasteland actually is. I'm not sure if this is actually supposed to be like some other type of city. There's another weird Colosseum-looking building over there. Sorry if I'm stuttering and just like freaking out and getting kind of jumping all over, but I'm just like, this is hitting all my neurons, man. Yeah, this is interesting because this implies that is some other type of temple. And you can see like it has a uniform architectural design with all these around us, but these aren't really exactly what's going on entirely in the valley itself. It's almost kind of like an air civilization. Kind of reminds me of the... God, I forget what it's called. That level in Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And Knuckles. Yeah, just like the Lost City in the Sky. It kind of reminds me of that. But also, with it being behind the temple, that kind of implies that it's another section of the civilization. So, I don't know. This feels like it's supposed to be some other type of thing that's not the Valley group who live in the mountains. This looks much more airborne. They literally have floating towers and stuff, and that looks like a floating palace that just we don't ever go to. Let's start a mythos about that. Yeah, this is a very fascinating little area of buildings. Because yeah, you're supposed to go down there. You're supposed to go into that cloud vagina and then dip into the wasteland, which is if you like calculate how high up we are in the mountains to how far down into there, and then even farther into that typhoon that is in the whirlpool that is past the wasteland gate area, it is so far down underground compared to us right now. We are literally at like the top of a mountain, and the wasteland is way far away from us, way down underground, which, funny enough, is seemingly what sea level is down here. So we're really, really high up in the sky. And yeah, this is just, if you're wondering about this lighting effect, that's actually the lighting effect that's supposed to be inside the temple that gives it kind of that golden sunset sheen. Yeah, this doesn't... To me, this doesn't look like an area that is related to the valley right here. This looks much more like its own little civilization city, kind of elemental area, if you want to go elemental with like the prairie, being like Earth. You technically have air, I guess, with the Isle of Dawn, the starting area, I guess. Then you have water more for the forest because it's always raining there. I don't know if you want to like categorize this into like elements and stuff. I guess you could. It's not really accurate, but yeah, this doesn't entirely tell me that this is part of the valley. This looks like it's part of its own thing that is not actually like a concrete area, but that is very clearly a temple. As I gesture to myself, maybe that'll be a future thing. I don't know how long this stuff has been here, if it's been here since the beginning of the game or not. I did look up some old photos from 2019 of the valley recently, and it looks very different than what it does today. At least the mobile game did. But yeah, I just want to poke around. This is a very fascinating image. I want to get it clean. Okay, that is forward. This would be like f-stop 11, I guess, relative to this camera. Yeah, just like a really clean shot. Just a really nice, clean shot of this environment, because I don't know if I'll ever see this again. A few of the out-of-bounds areas that I have seen before, I have not been able to get to again. So this is really neat. This is just really neat, in my opinion. Okay, so now that we have had our fun with that, what the hell is this? Why is it square like this and it goes down like that? We're not jumping into that, but that's also weird. We are going to try to jump down to, let me take a look at this from the side first. We're going to try to get to this thing. It almost looks like the gateway to Eden from Avery, but I know that these little islands exist for the elders. I also want to take a look at like what's going on over there. Like, okay, so that's not cloud, that is snow. So I was like, I've never seen clouds look like that, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense then. Why did the lighting change? Huh. I really hope we don't hit a kill plane, but you never know. This is fascinating to me because this is also above the wasteland area where, like, you start the wasteland and such. Oh, what is that? What is that? What is that? You see that? What are those? What is that over there? I'm really trying not to fly here, but because I want to keep my wings. Oh, it's that Colosseum over there. Okay. It's huge. It goes into the ground. But yeah, you're supposed to go down that, and then you get kind of ported. Whoa. What is this? Okay, okay. 1 second. The water here is really trippy when I move. Look at that. It's really trippy when I move the camera around. At least for me and what I'm seeing here. Okay. So we have a different skybox. It's blue. Interestingly enough, that's also kind of weird. Eden's Mountain has like a full JPEG of the mountain that goes all the way down. And normally it doesn't do that. Normally it kind of gets like cut in half and you can see the bottom of it. I see that a lot of times going out of bounds in the prairie, where it's like half of this JPEG. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is relevant at all to the Elder, but this straight up just is the gateway to Eden from Avery Village, you can see. Oh my god, it's even powered, but it's not open. That's kind of terrifying, and somebody left a little nodule here. Please be a recharge. Yes! Oh, you guys are awesome. You guys are totally, totally awesome. I also want to take a look around while they're doing that. The call effect. I've learned through many times going through the vault that looking at the call effect... Ooh, with this new skybox, we can see that model really cleanly. Look at it! It's so low poly! Okay, we'll look at it again in a second, but when you use the call effect, you can see some things that are kind of culled out in the game. Sometimes it depends on the model. But look at that. That's so... Because this is... I believe this is... Is it a seamless transition or not? It might not be. It might be. My memory might not be right on that. Look at the moon. It's so big. Why is it just a giant crescent moon anyway, actually, now that I think about it? You can see its reflection, but... Do we ever see a crescent moon in the game? Now I'm just kind of talking to myself about that, just like... Oh, that's also kind of interesting. The temple itself kind of almost looks like it's at a bit of an angle. Just like a 5-degree angle, just slightly tilted. Yeah, and then they put these blocks underneath it. There's a spheroid. Yeah, there's straight up just another Colosseum over here. Given we're over here, I have a feeling we're not going to be able to get to it, but... Yeah, this is just fascinating to me, man. Oh, that's funny. That one is... Like, they put some world design into this. They put some type of cultural world design relevant to the plot of the game here. Like, this temple over here that's floating, it has one of those fire outlets that you see in the vault. Like the fourth layer of the vault. There's a couple of those, but it's like giant and holding up an island, so that's funny. And then they have the rest of these supported by these kind of golden domes, which I assume in lore of the game, given that the golden spires on a lot of things tend to signify them as like devices to, like, for a lot of doorways or gateways they're used. So maybe these ones are supposed to, like, imply that they're helping levitate these buildings in a way. I'm not sure on that. I'm not a lore keeper. But I could buy that. I could totally buy that. I kind of want to get over there now. Yeah, this alone is insane. Oh, there's another one. Is that a... There's a prop nodule. Look of the moon. Yeah, we saw the moon. It looks really weird. This is a really weird moon. I'm going to take a picture just of this area because of how weird it is. Like, these pictures that I'm taking, I'm going to take screenshots of later on my computer. So I just have, like, a clean record image of it. Because this is... Oh, I feel like a tourist at Disney World right now. Just like, ooh. I mean, well, that's the thing. Is like, I'm not sure if this water down here is a skybox. We seem to be floating a lot higher above it. And the moment we step off of this thing, we're going to be kind of low to non-existent on wings. Is it possible to recharge off those clouds? It might be possible to recharge off those clouds. We're going to take a look at that. Yeah, that's the doorway. Oh man, what's going on with the skybox now? Oh, it's like daytime. What is that? You see that? Man, this is... I kind of wish I didn't drop off of that now, if the day cycle is changing. There's like... You could see like buildings underneath that in the JPEG. And I'm not familiar with seeing those there before. Oh man, this might be tight. We might not be getting anywhere with this one. Like, worst case scenario, I could try to get out here again. Okay, we have run out of flight. Like, extra flight. Yeah, that... Whatever that is over there is adorable, that temple. That's not really high poly. Okay, looks like we're gonna be hitting the water, probably. This is also just a massive area. This is... Why are we being drawn up? We were drawn up for a second. If I could just touch these clouds. Thank you. I love how all the clouds in this game just refill your light no matter what. That's wonderful. So that's... Ooh, I don't want to get too close to that. We might hit the load zone if we do. That is where you're supposed to enter for some of this stuff. It's so trippy seeing this stuff floating out here. We still might not get to this with the amount of wings we have, but I want to get near it and just take a look at it, because this is a different Colosseum than what we normally are shown. Actually, can I just fly up into this cloud mass and get some height? Please? Please, no. No, 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 no. Okay, one interesting thing is that the wind layer here that keeps you afloat, a flutter, is at a specified layer. Yeah, I did not intend to record today, once again, as happens frequently with this game. Just something crazy happens and I turn on the camera, and here we are. Okay. So. Let's get to these clouds if we can. There's particle effects over that Colosseum. Is that the regular Colosseum? It can't be. It would be so fun to land on that low poly model, but we probably just cannot. Can we land up on this, though? Oh, please, 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 no. Okay, let's get some more wings, please. Thank you. Get some more light. Alright. See what we can do. It's also kind of awkward because there's just no music here, because you're not supposed to be out here. But it's also just like it's a transient area. This is not like a real solid area. It's an area between areas. And oh man, the temple looks so weird from this angle. Yeah, that's the temple. Yeah, this really does look like it's supposed to be some other kind of civilization. Well, not, I keep saying civilization, but, you know, just like another city, another, like, part of the game or something like that. Like a wind cloud, more like a cloud air-based one. Okay, what is going on over there? That looks like the regular Colosseum. It has the... It's almost like a small low poly version of it. And there's also this particle effects stuff over. You see that? It's like wind or snow effects. What is this supposed to be? Is this like the Elder area or something? I know that these are generally hidden out of bounds in the border areas like this between areas. When you meet them, they kind of have to be... It's almost like a cutscene zone, which is in essence what they really are, because they're out of bounds and hidden away. The Witcher 3 does this a lot with its cutscenes specifically. It'll have you teleport to somewhere deep underground out of bounds or something. Or if they want to, like... There's a few of these in the Painted World area for the Hearts of Stone DLC. There's a few of these in the main game. Not a whole lot of these for Blood and Wine, because Blood and Wine tends to keep things on the world map most of the time, aside from the fantasy book stuff for Toussaint. That is hidden behind a JPEG mountain, which is not this JPEG mountain. Yeah, look. I can see there's like stuff up there to actual... I don't see that too often. Normally you see this for Eden, the tower itself. This is a really, really solid, mostly complete version of the JPEG with like even this stuff down here to represent the area you actually interact with during the Eden event. You normally don't see a whole lot of that for some reason, to my memory. Especially not the full length of this thing. Normally it's like cut in half and it looks awkward when you see it, like in Prairie Peaks or other places. even in like Liminal Avery, you can see it kind of like cut in half. Actually no, it's missing in Avery, Liminal Avery. Yeah, it's missing there. It's so quiet. I'm sorry if that's awkward, but it's just like the game has no music going on. It's just the sound of our character. Okay, we're gonna try to get to this. How long have I been at this? Oh, geez, we've been looking at this for about a half hour, but I'm taking my time and enjoying this. It feels like the lighting got like even flatter somehow. Oh. That explains the weird stars I was seeing up here. It's a different skybox. We're out of wings, so we're in here now. What is that? I see something down there. This is actually pretty big as like an area. This is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be a mini version of the Colosseum. It's essentially the same size. Oh yeah, this looks like the cutscene area for the Elders. Well, we found it. I thought it was the other one, but for some reason there's just a Gate of Eden here on the other side of the map. And a weird kind of liminal, incomplete version of the Colosseum for your cutscene with the Elders when you use the temple properly. The temple looks really weird here, too. It's the same temple, to my knowledge. You have the statues, it's the same gateway. The Colosseum itself is like a... What's funny, and this is just me talking, but what's funny is that those photos I was talking about, how I saw like a lower resolution version of the temple being earlier, they look like this but lit up in normal. Like the stands, this amphitheater looks nearly identical, but it looks really low poly. There's not really any proper like stairs or anything here, but orientationally this looks the same, and the skybox is just weird here. It's some sort of like Disney sunset kind of thing. Alright, let's go over here and see what happens. Probably nothing. Oh, this is just wild. It's blowing my frickin' mind, man. Well, we can walk right through them. I don't remember if they're supposed to have... Well, oh, the guy on the left... Okay, they do have proper faces. I was like, I'm not sure if they have, like, eyes or anything. I haven't seen these guys in a while. It's also kind of weird how they're specifically posed like this. It's almost like they're ready for a photo shoot. The funny thing is I'm so used to going out of bounds in The Witcher 3 and finding like half or not inanimate, well, just like inanimate or like half animate enemies or creatures or things like that, because the game is not understanding that you're not supposed to be here, because these entities are supposed to be called into the game later, but like they have some amount of AI to them, that I'm half expecting these guys to like wake up, quote unquote, and start attacking me or something like they would in The Witcher 3. So I'm just like really weirdly hesitant because I'm so used to, I'm so conditioned to think and process out of bounds stuff like that. Just in general, there are some nodules here. Okay, February 21st, 2023. You wrote that like a European, so I assume you're European. Please give me your light. I have no idea what you're saying. That... There's like an intensive amount of umlauts and interesting characters. I'm assuming you're either Norwegian or Finnish. That doesn't entirely look very Swedish to me, but, you know. My brain first goes to Finland, but it could be Swedish. I don't know. I'm assuming these two came as a pair. They're dressed very similarly. Ooh, there's actually, like, comments. What language is that? There's a prop? There's a few props. No, thank you. A little weird to want to sleep with the elders. Oh, that's a weird sentence out of context. I'm sorry. Wait, no, that's a constellation map. I don't need to see that. I don't want it to, like, do something weird with, kicking me into, like, the actual map area or something. Okay. So that's fascinating. There is a literal constellation map here, which tells me a few things. Tells me that this has been used in some manner for something else at some point, more so than a cutscene area, or it might have been planned to be. I don't know. I'm fascinated. I don't need a bed. So many people just put beds in this game. And I still don't fully understand if it's a joke or not. Okay, seeing as there is no way to enter the temple from here in some sort of weird way. There's another message down there. Can't read it. Quite an amount of people have been here, which is very surprising to me. This is fascinating. So there was a constellation map here programmed in at some point, and it's been removed. Or I can't activate it for some other reason. I'm not sure. It's just kind of dead. It reminds me of those portals that you see kind of littered around some of the extraneous areas or out-of-bounds areas throughout the game, where it's like a warp portal that leads somewhere else, but it's been deactivated. There's quite an amount of those. From like old events or dev things or what have you. And we hit a wall. Okay. I know this has been very rambly and just kind of whatever, because I'm just kind of talking while looking at this. I'm just kind of catching my feelings, man. No way. No way there's somebody up there. There's someone up there. You know, it would be really funny if someone like Shu tried to like enter the map and like load in at the temple and wonder, where the hell am I? I thought of that just now. I'm just like, you know, if one of the other people that I have friended on here... There's 2 people! Can we get to them? Probably not. We're gonna try. Okay, we can get to this... We can get to this. We need more recharge. Has anybody been up here to do that? Yeah, there's like 2 people up there. What is this? Why are there chairs here? This is so wild. Look at this image. This is so wild. What was that sound? Okay. Must just be this person. Oh, they're playing on mobile and doing other things. I can see that. Okay. That's cool. Okay, they're having a moment. Those people keep shooting off fireworks. Yeah, this is a really weird kind of space. It's weird in the fact that this exists. Like the whole like glamour of this being here is kind of worn off a little bit. It's still fascinating to me, but like the fact that there's actually a bunch of people here, like a lot of people here, is really weird because I've been to a lot of out of bounds places, and I think the only time there were other people like actively in one with me was like there's even like the roof above the caves in Prairie Peaks before you actually in the prairie before you get to Prairie Peaks itself. I've never seen anyone up there. I've been up there a lot and I've never seen anyone up there. But it would have to be that one time those 2 people came into, like, let alone with NetSpeed and stuff doing things, but, like, it would have to be, like, the time that those 2 people went into Liminal Avery with me. Well, like, they were also just, like, there. And I kind of showed them around with a few things. Well, we get to see if this person's Japanese as well. Oh, they speak English. No. I'm here by myself. One guy I chatted with... Yeah, I guess wrote would be correct. No, I mean by myself. The one guy I chatted with wrote in kanji. Is a hacker. That's... That's interesting. Can you get a life stop relying on that Dukin Shiv? Well, I don't even know who the heck is typing. Yeah, they don't seem, they seem pretty sus. Little sus, which is really weird for this game, but okay. Alright, so we're leaving the Colosseum now. That was very interesting that that one person said that that other player who we hadn't interacted with was a hacker. I don't know exactly what that constitutes or what that would really even mean in a game like this, but interesting. Very interesting. So my mission now is going to be trying to get to that low poly temple. I want to try and get there. I really do. And we can probably get there because I have some amount of instant refill potions for flight. I've been trying not to use them for anything, even in situations like this, but I don't think I'm really going to be coming out here again. At least not for a while. So I'm like, you know, screw it. Let's try to get over to this thing so we can show it off and say we've done this. We're going to try to get there with just regular wings first. Kind of gauge it. See what we got. I have a feeling we're going to need one refill because it looks close, but it's really not. I'm also curious how big this thing is because the Colosseum from a distance, it looks fairly small, but it's actually pretty much a full-size location. This looks smaller. We might actually be able to get here without using any extra wings. Okay, that was everything. Yeah, we were able to get here. Right. Oh, God. Oh, no, no. Too far. We're going to have to use one anyway. That's fine. All right. That kind of sucks, but what can you do? I do like how it is very much just a flat facade. There's nothing there. Oh, man, we got some downdraft, and well, we've been there. We're gone. We're gonna see what's going on with the water, then. And yeah, the temple, the Colosseum there does seem to have, like, its own specific skybox for everything. I find the fact that there are these, like, two pillars here kind of weird down here. Oh, you know what these are supposed to be? These are supposed to be what's in the wasteland area once you go through the tunnel. These are buried in the Cloud Sea. So what this thing does, it must call in that load area. But these are still here as like markers, which in theory means that, is this Colosseum over here always over here? We're going to try going up this in reverse and see if we get loaded in some awkward way. That's another experiment we can try. Let's take a look at that. See if it, like, loads it in while we're still, like, trying to get in. What has happened? Did we, like, break it? It's not working at all. Do we need to trigger something? Oh, you know what it is? I just realized this. I'm done with that. Okay. The reason why that's not there is because we're not actually in this area yet. We were still in the middle of the temple. It has to load in. It has to load in this area of the map. So if I were to walk through that doorway, it would load in theory. The load zone is the door right now because we're still supposed to be inside of the temple itself. That completely blew over my head. I'm just like, why is this exterior area not loading in the wasteland? It's because it's literally not there yet. This is the temple, the interior. Oh, man. So yeah, we're not supposed to be out even here yet. If we go through that door, we're going to load in properly. All right. I mean, that would give us a chance to take a look at these buildings, I guess, because there's really no invisible wall. I'm really curious about the ocean, to be honest, here. And also this weird, like, light stuff that's going on way over here. If there's nothing over here, we're just gonna load back to Avery, because this is kind of the last idea I have of this whole space. I've been in here for about an hour and a half now, and I chopped out an amount of what was going on over there at the temple, because it was kind of a lot of standing around, and people kind of talking to themselves and not me. And the people I did talk to there were a little rude, in a way. They were... I'm not sure if they were kids or not. What is going on with the lights again? Yeah, the skyboxes and lights in this area seem to be very weird and all over the place. Right, so this probably looks a little weird, and it very much is. I was trying to get into that doorway, which we might be able to do in a moment. I can't seem to fall down from this chair that somebody has put here to clip out of bounds in the valley. This is at the ice skating area, as you can see there. And you can kind of see into under the ice before you actually like break the ice to go down there. I haven't been down there yet, and it seems to not have certain lighting aspects and things going on. It's like once you actually break the ice, it seems to actually activate stuff, I guess. I can't like fly into there to go out of bounds to like see what it's like under there if you haven't broken the ice, because with this clip, whoever put this here, it doesn't let me drop down. They didn't put an instrument or anything else, and there's no other like prop artifact here for like prop nodule for me to interact with. Sorry if I sound kind of scatterbrained. I did not expect this to be recorded. Like, I didn't expect to find anything here. You could see into the tunnel that is annoying to go through to kind of weave back and forth just to get to a large candle that you use for the guy the spirit who gives you the juggling animation. But yeah, the skybox kind of goes all over the place when you're doing this. Like, it goes between the sunset and the nice daylight stuff. That's the funny thing. It's like, they didn't put an instrument here, but they used a keyboard mat for this. I specifically thought this would be worth... If this was just it, I would probably not have put on the camera to record here, but when I use I'm able to actually use the camera down here, which is a very common thing that I cannot... It's very common for me not to be able to use the camera when I'm sitting on one of these chairs clipping out of bounds. So this is like the bottom surface of the map. This is fascinating to me because a lot of this is like if I just go back, it's kind of culled out and you can't see it from this angle. But with the camera, you can for some reason. And this is the bottom of the floor for this map, this area that you're supposed to be in. This is the actual bottom texture. It's kind of low quality in a way. It reminds me of some of the out-of-bounds stuff we found in the Valley Temple. Yeah, just fascinating. Specifically this, like, I don't know what these are. They seem to get culled in and out based on distance, as you can see. But they also have, like, little shiny lights to them. So I'm not sure I don't know what these are. I don't know what these are. I'm not familiar with these objects in the game proper. They're like little pot-shaped things, or little capsule-shaped things. And they all actually glow. Like, you can see, they have the kind of sheen that you would see for another spirit. So I'm not sure what these are supposed to be exactly. But they're all just lined up here, it seems. Where is this relative to the rest of the map? So that's over there. This is over here. So that's over there. So I'm guessing they would be like underneath this cloud mass. Okay, let me look at this door and see if we get that straight on. No, so it straight up is having me. So that's the door. That is... I'm trying to like spatially understand where I am because it's so different looking through the camera. Okay, there's that. These things are off to the side over here, where some of the clouds start again. So that's that. It's kind of wherever, whatever this thing is that's right next to us right there. You see that down there? It almost kind of looks like a weird whale. It's not. It's just like geometry. But it's like where that is. Kinda. It's like, it's almost further, a little bit further behind. What is that? You see that little like little nodule thing kind of back there. There's some weird stuff out of bounds, I can tell, in this area. It's just a shame that I can't really clip under the map. If I had an instrument, maybe, but I have the camera, which lets us do this instead. Still interesting. Is there anything directly above me? No? What is that? I see, like, shadows out there. I think that is supposed to be, like, underneath the ice skating area. Yeah, I just don't know what these things are. They clearly have very specific designs to them. They have the kind of glow that a spirit would have, or a child of light would have, so I'm guessing these are something important, but they seem like developer objects. Kind of like the pigs in the Liminal Avery area, but maybe these have functions attached to them. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Very neat. Yeah, this is just what happens. I can't really do anything, so... I've tried doing the old emote slip through. I haven't been able to do that a lot in recent... I used to be able to do this quite a bit when I started the game, and ever since then, it's just progressively been less common to be able to do that. Now I'm just messing around trying to see if there's anything that kind of pops out at me. Whoa, 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 what are those little green things? Oh, it's the grass. It's the grass that's supposed to be down there. Okay, well, is there anything else? Any other... Let me get rid of this and maybe something else could load in. There's one further up here. I have no idea what it says. There's another one over here. Oh, 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 oh. Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this? Oh, there's another one. Never mind. Yes, we can. And we can see whatever these things are. Okay. Okay, live. We got this live. This is crazy. No! We hit a kill plane. Okay, maybe it's still over there. Oh, that's amazing. I had a feeling maybe there's a kill plane out here, but I haven't seen one in a while, so I wasn't sure. Please come back. Oh, thank you. Alright, let's try 2. Round 2. Oh man, this is cool. What is that supposed to be? Just a hunk of ice. It's just a hunk of ice down there. And we're out of wings. We will probably... Yep. Okay, if that nodule keeps respawning when we do, we're fine. What the crap? Okay, so it loaded in a different batch. That might be a bit of a problem, actually. Well, we have other chairs. We can open this door, I guess. And there's nothing in here. Lovely. Oh, that's an even easier clip. Okay. Okay, I want to get towards these things and see what they are if we can. There is an invisible wall. Are you kidding me? Okay, we're going to be poking around at this one. I thought this might be a pretty one and done situation, but it seems to not be. So, we're going to break the ice, get down here. There's candles down here for us to kind of refill off of. I am also currently missing 3 Children of Light. I was hit by a dark dragon recently while trying to become friends with another person. And unfortunately, we lost 4 wings. I've gotten one of them back. I've searched a lot of areas already, but we're still missing 3 of them. So we're down to 97. We do not have the good 100 again, which also means that we do not have one of our uses of flight anymore. Because we got knocked down from 100, which lets us have an extra go. It might actually be good if we kind of like refill our wings. Properly here. Okay. What you got? Okay, so I'm going to assume that it has spawned in a batch. Oop, okay, nope, we're good. Maybe? I was going to say it's spawned in some nodes somewhere, but where? We have one here. I'm going to interact with it. Maybe it's just a weird server-side thing. That kind of seems to be, yeah. Okay, we have the good one. Okay. Okay. Can we not? Okay, there's an invisible wall. I'm moving against the invisible wall, whatever it is. I'm still moving against it. Can we get some wings from that? No. But why? We're so close. I want to touch them. I want to touch whatever those things are. Or at least get near them. Man, that actually really resets the whole area. Like the ice is back over the lake. Holy crap. That's one of the things that does kind of suck about trying to do this right now is we're still down like a wing for flight. So we're just like, ah, man. We can't fly as much as we could. If everything were going swimmingly. Okay. Let us try again. And I forgot we just didn't have any... That's another annoying thing, is we just don't have any light. It's annoying to reset like this and just not have any. Okay, this person is doing pretty well. I'm going to give this a few more shots because this is kind of seeming like something that we've seen the limits of at the moment. If the game wants to spawn anything in. Okay, I saw that. That's the weird part, is interacting with one of these voice quote unquote ones, these memories where it's actually from another player that's not props. Just one of the social ones, not one of the prop ones. They tend to load in the prop ones. It's like the prop ones for some reason take some negotiating to show up into the game sometimes. Not always, but a lot of the times the social ones will show up way quicker than any of the prop ones. That happens, I would say, 75% of the time. It's very, very common. So for some reason, when you interact with the social one, it'll like try to like bring, it's like, oh, this person wants to interact with these. We'll bring in the prop ones too. It's like a weird secondary afterthought kind of thing, but it's just how this is working. Okay, we're going to try and fly in this direction. I'm also going to try to fly like this. Oh, look at that. That's some out of bounds stuff over there. Okay, that's fascinating. Oh, it really is just an invisible wall. What? Now it's an invisible wall this way. Yeah, I can't go back this way. Okay. We're testing our limits. We'll see what's next. I was going to say, I would actually prefer a prop one for this. That person is reading a book. Remember, kids, literature is your friend. Support your local library. What's your deal? Buzz off, man. No. You know, let's try to touch this. What did we touch? Oh, just the reset plane. That's funny because I kind of got rid of that other person who was near us too. I think. No, the book guy's still here. Book guy's still here. So I think we're in the same instance. Which means this nodule should show up again. I think. In theory. If we're magical. Yay! We're magical! Alright, let's keep trying this way. We're just gonna go straight back. Can we get up and above? Maybe some sort of ground layer? Yeah, we're just hitting invisible walls. We can see the back side of the mountain. It's just a crusty bunch of ice, but... Thank you. I'm not sure if they're a fox or a deer. Thank you, furry. Thank you. Who the heck are you, and why can I see you? Are you the person who like came over here and saw me go through the wall? I think that's kind of a way, but also not. So, the problem here really is the invisible wall. And my thought is, like, I'm assuming that it's an invisible wall that is placed over that, because you can get up there vertically, and it's probably to stop people from going over or interacting with things up in that area, or trying to get over the mountain itself. Because you could, in theory, do that if you had enough gumption in you. But it's extending so far down, and I think the best bet is maybe to try and see if we can get behind this structure, quote unquote, in some way, onto some land above it, because flying below does not really seem to be much of any help here. I don't recognize this one. And it seems to just be a sparkler, so it's completely useless. This one is also useless. Maybe there's another one somewhere else, like more towards this area. I could picture people looking at this wall and being like, that's a mighty flat wall there. It'd be a shame if we clipped through it. Yeah, I did not expect to record anything today. I'm not even sure. I believe I didn't even play the game yesterday, which is one of the rare times that I just have not played this in the past 2 months. But, like, to even check in and do, like, the seasonal cameras, I've just been whipped with work, and I'm just like... What is this person doing? They're just, like, hanging around? Why are you loitering? Loitering is illegal. Okay, let's interact with this. Someone has been here. Did it bring up any... other nodules? That's the funny thing. I don't even know if things like this have like a proper name aside from like diamonds or markers, or as I've been trying to consistently call them nodules, because that's kind of what they are. They're just like little floating nodules that just have some sort of interactability. I could actually use this one to refill my wings, to be honest. You have a very nice outfit, except you're wearing, like, really, really weird jeans. That's a really weird contrast with the rest of the outfit. Actually, yeah, I just realized you're wearing, like, bell-bottom jeans and, like, a 60s ringer shirt. But then you also have, like, the full-on spirit furry outfit. Okay. I'm kind of glad that person was just emoting a ton of stuff instead of just monologuing in Cyrillic, and I'm just like, I don't know what this person says. Okay, can we get up here? We can? Can we get up here? We can. Okay, here's the invisible wall from the front side, not from underneath the map. Oh, that's crazy. You can even see some... You can see some weird geometry stuff with the clouds even over there. That's a really odd one. They don't normally make them like really thin plates, like fake Stratocirrus kind of entities. Like normally they just make them very big and globular, even out of bounds. But no, they really intentionally just made them very thin here, very plate-like. That's very, that's not super common from my viewings of the sky and sky. Yeah, they're not normally very thin like that. What is that? That's just some of the cloud geometry. I was like, is that an object? No. Yeah, they're normally very globular, very big and bulky. The only time that they tend to be thin like this is when they're very intentionally designed to be like this. There's a few instances in, like, I think the islands in the prairie area have some like this, and obviously a few in a few other places, but out of bounds I don't tend to see this. Because that's very intentional. It's normally more of a who cares kind of thing. Okay, nothing has spawned in here. It's also not letting us move forward, so I'm going to move forward myself. See if we can get a better vantage point of what's going on over there. Huh. Well, it is interesting. Just these really long, like, fake cirrus clouds. You can't really make cirrus clouds with the cloud, I don't want to say engine, but just like the way that the clouds tend to be made in this game. You can't really do cirrus because they're, like I said, kind of globular. They're very big and bulky and thick. They're supposed to be kind of like floating water in a way. So it's kind of interesting to see just like this very intentional thin plate-like design work here for stuff that you don't interact with and don't really see if you're not like trying to see it, which most players are not. Okay, that is the entrance to the lower track. Okay. I'm at this point I'm just kind of taking a look around, sorry. I wonder, is there anything in that tower there? I really don't want to waste this, but we're going to be wasting it. I'll waste it for the bit. A full recharge. I want to see what's up in this tower. It's broken open, and I don't know if I can get up into it. There seems to be nothing. And it is rejecting me. Okay, we got up into it. There's nothing up here, though. Man! Well, there's someone's Moomin collection. Relax. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice as my voice cracks. That's nice. It's not what I really care to see today, you know? That's also not what I cared for. Just let me get up on top of this. That would be beautiful. 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 I like that. I like that a lot. Because it is a good vantage point. Okay. What do we got? What is that? Okay, that's just clouds. Oh, that's funny. We can actually see on the screen, like, the fake... Yeah. Like the fake sun ray. That's very interesting, actually. It looks like it's 3D. Like, you look at it, like, look at what's going on here as if you're looking at it on like a 3DS or for a 3D movie or something. You know how that kind of, how stereoscopic stuff works, because that's how my brain thinks and how we see things a lot of the time. If you view it like that, you could see like it looks like it's fully 3D in a way, like they're 3D spheres that are then rendered in like really low quality polygons that have a lot of filtering effects on them. Is that what's going on here? Like, especially at like angles like this, you can kind of see it looks like a solid 3D sphere, just really low poly. Is that really what they did here? That's funny. Wait, ooh, do we have better angles of this? Can we get better angles of it? Yeah, it looks like it's a 3D, it's a whole 3D. Wow. The refraction of the sun in this game is literally 3D spheres. They didn't do like PNGs like most games do. Normally it's just like layers of PNGs. No, they went for full 3D models of spheres for this. That's crazy. That is actually really weird. I don't think I've seen that in a game before. That's novel. It works. It doesn't work when I break it like that, but you know. Yeah, even when you're playing the game like this, you can see it. Huh. I can't think of another, like Witcher 3 doesn't do that, Red Dead 2 doesn't do that. These are completely different companies that made completely different games, but I'm just trying to think of like this visual effect being done by other companies. Like Mario Sunshine just uses some PNGs. That's interesting. Good job, that game company. You did something that I find very, very interesting again. But I'm just saying, like, it's been a while since I found like a weird kind of dev technique that I'm like, I don't think I've seen that before. I don't know how common that is. Yeah, it's just straight up a sphere. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. I love how I came up here looking for a way to get out of bounds, and I get sidetracked being amused at the refraction of the sun. Okay. Okay, we're gonna give it one more shot. Please load in. Please just give me one more shot, and then I'm done. Okay, that's actually a great question as well. So the ice is covered over here, so the bottom area is like dark in theory. If we can get in there and see like, oh well, actually we used up that whole thing, didn't we? Yeah. We have no light. We have no light, Captain. So I'm going to collect a few more pieces of wax I haven't gotten yet over here. Oh god, we've been doing this for a half hour. Jeez, man. I thought it would be maybe like 15 minutes. Okay. Can we have one more go? One more go. Whoa, look at that rubber banding. That's nuts. Okay. Okay, we're in here without having broken the ice. That's a curiosity to me. It still has the lighting effect down here as if you had broke it. Okay. Aside from that, it does seem to be mostly the same. There is supposed to be a Child of Light down here. I don't know if it's still gone or if it has come back because I'm missing it. I want to take a look. I know it's behind one of these. I don't remember which one. I don't see it, so I'm gonna guess that it's not. Oh, that's what it's like to break it from the bottom. Alright, I'll give it to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got lucky. Alright, one last try. One last legitimate try with this. Yep, it's just behind that barrier. Well, they're back there. We can't do anything with them. Let's read with this guy real quick. Right. Back to whatever, or if and this is the end of a video or not. Whatever. This is wrapped. I don't know what else we can do here. So yeah, just a weird little thing that just happened. So I thought I'd put it on camera. Anyway.